Good morning, students. Today we will continue with the same unit. The name of the unit is Personality Development. In that, we are continuing with the lesson Attitude is Altitude. In the last class, we have completed half part of the vocabulary and grammar. And now we will be continuing with the remaining part of the grammar. Here you can see the Roman number 1. Tick the word or expression which is nearest in the meaning to the word underlined in each sentence given below. Here we have to pick the nearest meaning of the word which is underlined in the sentence. First one. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin. So we have to find the meaning of tucked. Tucked means kept, pulled, covered, tied. In this for which one? Kept. Tucked means kept. So first one is A. Second, his distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. Here, distraught is underlined. Distraught means angry, careless, shy, anxious. Which one? Anxious. Second is D. Third, despite the risk of bullying, his parents insisted on Nick's attending mainstream. In this, bullying is underlined. Meaning of bullying is discrimination, humiliation, negligence, failure. Which one? Humiliation. Third one is B. Fourth, Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carriers to help him. Here, the underlined word is mobility. Meaning of mobility is socializing, movement, travel, safety. Which one? Movement. Fourth is B. 5. Nick managed to pull Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. Here, the underlined word is adversity. What is the meaning of adversity? Is it disabled, poverty, difficulties, opposition? Yes, it is difficulties. Fifth one is C. The challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. Underline word is convictions. Meaning of it is feelings, practices, beliefs, characters. Which one? Yes, it is beliefs. Sixth is C. Now, Roman number 2. Read the following descriptions about persons and fill in the blanks with the words that match with these descriptions. They have given us some words here. What are they? We will see. Boorish, extrovert, meticulous, suave, placid, ob- obnoxious, compassionate, timid, introvert, malicious. Here are the sentences with the blanks. We have to fill the blank with the proper words which are provided for us. First one is Ashok is a very unpleasant and rude fellow. I don't talk to him. He is, which one it suits? He is boorish. Second, Srinu is very confident, elegant, and polite, but sometimes he does not appear to be sincere. He is suave. So here you have to write these answers in your textbook. There you have provided space in the textbook for these answers. I hope you all are writing. So while listening only, you try to understand and write the words and don't get confused and don't write the spellings wrong, which because I have written the spellings here also. If you see the screen, you can understand. Second one is suave. Third is Sujata. Sujata is quiet and calm. She doesn't like to spend time with others. She is interesting in her thoughts and feelings. So she is an introvert. Fourth, Ramesh is very sensitive. He always shows sympathy for people who are suffering. He is compassionate. Fourth one is compassionate. Fifth, my neighbor is such a person that he has a feeling of hatred for others. He desires to hurt others' feelings. He is malicious. Fifth one is malicious. Sixth, my father pays careful attention to every detail. He makes through planning for everything in our home. He is meticulous. Sixth is meticulous. Seventh, Prem is an extremely unpleasant person. He always tries to offend people. He is obnoxious. Seventh is obnoxious. Eighth, my mother is very calm and peaceful. She doesn't get excited or irritated easily. She is placid. Eighth is placid. Ninth, Rahul is a very lively and confident person. He enjoys being with his friends. He is an extrovert. Ninth is extrovert. Tenth, Sridhar is always afraid of speaking in the class. He is timid. Tenth is timid. Now moving to the grammar. Defining and non-defining relative clauses. Let us read the following sentences. The woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. Second one, Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. What difference do you notice between sentence 1 and 2? In sentence 1, the relative clause defines the woman. It is a defining relative clause. In sentence 2, the relative clause adds extra information about Nick. This is a non defining relative clause. If you see in sentence 1, here we are discussing about a woman. She is who taught him surfing. It is a defining relative clause. In whereas second sentence we are discussing about Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. Here we are giving extra information about Nick. So it is a non-defining relative clause. A non-defining relative clause is preceded and followed by a comma or a hyphen. You can simply recognize a non-defining relative clause how it has a comma or a hyphen. For example, here we can see the brave 26-year-old who is mainly a torso plays football and golf, swims and surfs. Here in this sentence you can see the hyphen as well as the commas. So this sentence is a non-defining relative clause. Roman number 1 here. See, read the text again and identify some more defining and non-defining defining relative clauses. First one, you see the Nick has a small foot. Here actually it is a blank you have to write. So what they are asking us to read the text again and identify some defining and non-defining relative clauses. So I have done two for you, and the remaining three is your homework. You have to read the lesson and you have to identify the relative clauses. Okay. Now we will see the first one. Nick has a small foot on his left hip which helps him balance and enables him to kick. Can you say is it a relative or a non-relative? Yes, it is a defining relative clause. First one is a defining relative clause because it don't have any hyphens or commas. Second one, you see, Nick, who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. Now tell me which one is this? Yes, non-defining relative clause because it has commas. Okay, now you have to read the lesson and find the remaining three, and you have to write in the space provided. Next, complete the sentences with defining or non-defining relative clauses. Students, you have space in your textbook. You have to fill those blanks. I will tell you. This is first one. This is the peaceful place. There you have a blank. This is the peaceful place. You have to write that is liked by every naturalist. Students, you don't get confused. You can see on the screen also. I have written it for you. Write carefully without any mistakes. Okay. First one is, this is the peaceful place that is liked by every naturalist. Second is, the Mahaprasthanam is a popular book which I have bought in Hyderabad. In the blank, what you will be writing? Which I have bought in Hyderabad. Second one, the Mahaprasthanam is a popular book which I have bought in Hyderabad. Third, Suresh Dash has left the school just now. What you will be writing in that blank? Who is my cousin? Suresh, who is my cousin, has left the school just now. Fourth, is this the street where meat is sold? So, what you will be writing in the blank? Where meat is sold. Fourth one is this the street where meat is sold? Fifth, the express which runs between Delhi and Chennai has just arrived. In the blank, what you will be writing? Which runs between Delhi and Chennai. Fifth one, the express which runs between Delhi and Chennai has arrived. Home assignment for you is C. Writing. Writing a biographical sketch. A biographical sketch is an account of the life and activities of an individual. It includes information about the person's name, place of residence, education, occupation, life and activities, and other important details. It is written by another person. If a person writes an account of his or her own life, it is called an autobiography. Given below in the table is the biographical information about Stephen Hawking. Based on this information, write a biographical sketch. Now, here we have to write a biographical sketch. They have given us the difference between biographical and autobiographical sketch. Biographical sketch means we will be writing about some other person, whereas autobiographical means writing about ourselves only, means writing about our life only. It is autobiography, whereas we are writing about some other person is biography. So here we have to write the biographical sketch of Stephen Hawking. Here they have given us some details, like see in the table, points to be covered, details of the person. What points we have to cover in that Biography is date and place of birth. That is January 8th, 1942, Oxford, England. Information about the family. Eldest one of four sisters. Mother Isobel Hawking, father Frank Hawking, a medical researcher with a specialist in tropical diseases. Important events in life. Early academic life, recognized as a bright student. High school years, third from the bottom of his class. Pursuits outside of school. Loved boarding games. Constructed a computer out of recycled parts at the age of 16. Solved rudimentary mathematical equations. Married Jane Wilt. Health suffered from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis and research. These are the some informations you can see in this table. So we have to mention, means we have to mention these details, means these points to be covered in the biography which you are going to write. So by covering these points, you have to write a biography about Stephen Hawking. Okay, this is the homework for you, and also you have to you have to complete these three sentences of defining and non defining relative clauses. Okay, students, we will continue the remaining part of the lesson the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.